Marcellus Sports Shooting Stars. We bring the game to you. And this Friday night, we got another big one. The Central Panthers, the Lady Panthers, come to the Wildcat Den to go against Coach Jay Rexroth and his Dallastown Wildcats. Coach, thanks for jumping on here with me today.
Sure. Thanks for having me.
So I did a little Googling, and it said that you're a player. Did you graduate in 1980 from Dallastown? Is that right?
I did. Yep, I did.
Now, have you been with the team since then, coaching? Like, I know you went, obviously guys, girls, boys, girls.
Well, so a little background. I graduated from Dallastown in 1980. I went to Millersville and played 3 years over there at Millersville. And then when I graduated, I got a job right out of college right here. I was Royce Gerber's junior high coach and varsity assistant for 6 years. And then when Royce stepped down, then I took over in 93, I guess. And so I coached 17 years on the boys side, in boys varsity. And now this is my ninth. Well, I got out of it for a little bit, took a year off, and a buddy of mine, Troy Lockhauser, took over the Dover job, and I said I'd help him 3 years up there. We were really successful. And then I got out when his daughter and my son graduated. Our close family friends. When I said when she's done, I'm done. So I got out, and then my niece Molly Day played at York Suburban. So Jess talked to me about coming in there and helping a little bit. So I did 2 years in there.
Oh,
And thought I was never going to be a head coach again. I liked the assistant role; it was a good position. And then things went sideways here at Dallastown with the girls program, and there was an opening here. And Tori Harvey and our principal came to me multiple times and asked me to take it, and I turned them down. And I think on the fourth time, I finally said, "All right, I'll take it for a year." Well, a year's now turned into 9 years. But it's been fun. We've had some success, a lot of good players. And obviously that makes me look smart when you have really good players and a really good coaching staff behind you. And again, this is not just the Jay Rexroth show. It's John Jameson, Troy Lockhauser, Troy Smeltzer, Brian Harbaugh, Molly Day, Sam Miller, just all those people, Mike Snell, guys that have helped me in the past. I've done a really, really good job with our program.
well, I remember you. I played Spring Grove in the 1995, graduated, and you look taller on the court than you do here on the video. There with
Yeah, my camera's a little awkward here, so I'm down in a hole almost.
and it's ugly sweater day, I was told
Yes,
too.
it
So,
is. It is
oh,
Spirit Day. It's an ugly sweater day here at Dallastown.
well, hopefully you win that. And I saw an article that said, I guess after your first year at varsity or during that, I guess there were some struggles, and you didn't know if there would be a second year. Is what I saw you quoted.
Yeah, honestly, you think you know a lot until you become the head coach, and then you realize how little you actually know. And it was the first year we had a really good player named Tom Campbell. I probably remember him, scoring machine.
Yep.
He averaged over 20 points a game, but I was learning on the job, thinking I knew everything, and then you find out you don't. And it's a lot of pressure and a lot of stress. And I thought, man, who wants to do this again? And now I've done it for, I don't know, 2017 and 9, whatever that is, 26 years of coaching. So you just sort of learn. A guy that I learned a ton from was Bob Rudisil. When I got into the varsity boys job, he had that run with Adam Miller and Adam or Aaron Eaton, all those guys down there in Canada. And I'd go down because we didn't make the postseason, so I would go down and watch his practices and learn a lot from him. Just defensively, stuff that he taught me, and just how to run a program. And we just, again, I had lots of guys that I watched and went to see Rick Pitino's camps and clinics and just learned from as many guys as I could and sort of form my own philosophy. And, got to where we are now, where we just really believe like the better we play defense, the better we're going to be on offense. And the more we share the ball, the better we are. And that's sort of our philosophy. Great man-to-man defense, be smarter than our opponent, and scout really hard, and then share the ball on offense.
Well, I've seen it. I've seen it work in counties last year and time again for you, plenty of other times. And got to give a shout out to OSS, one of our sponsors. And I was actually there, and John Jameson was helping me out, I think, with a sore Achilles issue. And he said that he was part of the reason why you ended up getting back into the Dallastown coaching for the girls, because he had some of his daughters coming up through the program.
Yeah.
And So, and his side of the family's incredible with, his dad winning county championship. He won county championship. Um, Multiple, does he have two or three daughters?
Three, all three daughters have won a county championship.
That is
Yeah,
incredible.
yeah,
That is
it is.
crazy. Yeah, that's so awesome. So, well, obviously we have you on here today highlighting the Central game. Central's always tough, Coach. Have you had a chance to look at some of their games?
Oh yeah, obviously we did. They're very talented. Again, they'll get Olivia back. I don't know if she'll be back for our game or not. She's coming back from ACL, but they will be. They are a very good team. And it's sort of Troy Smeltzer was a longtime assistant for me on the boys' side. He was my JV coach for 10 years, and then helped me on the girls' side. And his daughter and wife, actually, his daughter goes to Central. His wife teaches Central. And last year was the first year he talked to me about making the switch. And Kevin Sheeler had asked him about coming on as a varsity assistant. He's a huge help in there. He knows all of our stuff. So I watch him and I think, man, they run a lot of stuff we run. And he's a really good offensive mind, a really good defensive mind. So that's a huge advantage for them to have a guy that's been in our program and in our system for a long time. So it'll be a challenge. Again, we'll know what they're going to do, and he'll know what we're going to do. And again, Kevin's lucky to have him. And if you talk to Kevin, he would tell you how fortunate he is to have him on his staff.
That's awesome. Well, big time matchup here Friday night. Obviously you want to stay just a game behind Red Lion, both squads.
Mm-hmm.
And Coach, I did a game earlier this week. You mentioned Coach Jess Weaver and York Suburban, and we covered West York versus York Suburban girls, and I was blown away. It was, it was just unbelievable basketball, like the way that coming off the screens and I would say a little more technical than some of the boys teams. Coach, can you kind of talk on the difference between varsity level boys and varsity level girls?
Well, obviously on the boys' side, the athleticism is through the roof. But, being on the boys' side for all those years, you sort of take it for granted. Then you go away from the boys' side and coach girls a little bit and come back and watch a boys' game. You're like, wow, you didn't realize how athletic those guys are above the rim playing and how physical it is. But on the girls' side, the talent level has just gotten better and better and better. Athleticism is better. Again, girls, we run probably more sets than boys do. And, some of the boys teams are sort of more like up and down and transition, but especially in Division One, with Dimoff and, everybody else, you're running sets and quick hitters and things like that. And, but people ask me, what's the difference between boys and girls coaching? Really, for me, nothing. I coach the girls the same way I coach the boys, demanding expectations of what this and what we need. And we don't lower the bar. And our girls, luckily have achieved where we want to get and raise. We don't have to lower the bar for them. It'll be a great matchup because again, Central is very athletic, very talented. The Rever girl is phenomenal.
Yeah.
McCaskill, Edwards. You just go down the list. Mapes can shoot the three, and obviously they'll get the younger McCaskill back here. Probably our luck. She'll show up Friday night and be ready to play because she was Player of the Year last year as a sophomore. It tells you how talented she is. So we'll have our hands full. And again, in Division One on the girls' side, every night will you have your hands full because there's no bad teams. There are no bad teams. We didn't play well against Red Line, but give them credit. They deserve. We got what we deserved. They beat us. They beat Central. Central goes up to New Oxford, wins by 2, so that tells you New Oxford's talented. So it's going to be interesting how it shakes out, and we're just really focused on having a good practice tonight and see what happens tomorrow at the game. And then we're not looking down the road because when you do that, that's when you stumble and lose somebody you shouldn't lose to. But we're sort of on a slow start. We're not clicking like we need to be. But again, I don't want to be mid-season form the first game of the year. So we'll get better as the season goes on. That's sort of what we do. And hopefully by the time we get to the postseason, we'll be really good. So right now, I'd say we're good. I wouldn't say we're really good because every game we play is a challenge. Everybody's tough against us. We win at York High on Tuesday, and we had like a 10-point lead, and all of a sudden we let them score 20 points in the third quarter. Now all of a sudden they're ahead of us. We come back. Our kids show a lot of grit and a lot of toughness. Came back and won that game. But I think that's pretty much going to be the norm throughout Division One. I'm sure Kevin could tell you that. You talk to Dimoff, he would tell you the same thing. Every night is a challenge. Southwestern is very, very good, and we were fortunate enough to beat them at our place last Friday. So we're hoping to play well against Central and see what happens. And like I said, we want to get to the point where we're really clicking by the time we get to end of January and February.
Well, I appreciate your time here, Coach Jay Rexroth. It's going to be a barn burner as Central York Panthers comes to Dallastown Lady Wildcats. Tip-off is 7:30 this Friday. Come on out. Get out there early. Show your support. If you can't, you can watch it on Sports Shooting Stars. We bring the game to you. Thanks a lot, Coach. Appreciate you.
All right, thank you.
Make sure you wear the sweater. We'll see you out there.
That won't happen.
Contact us, sportsshootingstars@gmail.com.